Hi, it's another great day in Coto de Caza. I'm at our drought-tolerant garden, and down here we have another succulent. And this is an Echeveria Dusty Rose. It's a member of the Crassulaceae family. And this is an Echeveria hybrid of unknown parentage. So it's sort of a standalone plant in our succulent world here. And it gets its name Rose since this rosette looks like a perfectly shaped rose. And it gets its name Dusty because on top of the leaves we have a little tiny coating of powdery fine dust. Now this is a fast-growing, medium-sized succulent. It grows about 5 inches high and about 8 inches in diameter. And it's a perfect little plant for your standalone pots, your containers, mixed in with your other succulents, and provides us pretty little orange flowers each spring. It's also the one of the few Echeverias that have this perfectly distinctive shape on both the rosette and the leaves. But it's easily confused with purple pearl. And purple pearl is a little more thicker and fleshier, and it doesn't have the dust you find here on our dusty rose. So the leaves, they're soft and they're fleshy. They have a spatulate shape, which means they're thinner at the base, and then they widen up towards the top, kind of spatula shaped, and they're pointed with these little fine tips at the end. Now they also have a thick coating of natural wax that allows it to tolerate full sun and gives it this soft pastel-like appearance. And try not to touch the leaves, or you may leave a permanent scar or even a fingerprint that'll never go away. Now this plant is usually pale pink in color, but in the bright sun like we have here in Coto de Caza, it'll get a deeper purple-black color like we have here. And if they're too stressed out by too much sun or even overfeeding, it may change its colors even more dramatically, and you'll get something even a much different color. All right? So try to control those variables like sunlight, temperature, and even how much water it gets. So the flowers, unlike our other Echeverias that flower in winter, our dusty rose here, it flowers in spring. And when they do, they'll shoot out a long flower stalk or a raceme with little bell-shaped pinkish orange flowers. So taking care of our dusty rose is the same way we take care of our other Echeverias. You plant these guys in sandy mixes or well-draining soils. Cactus mix from your nursery works just great. And too much water in the roots can cause root rot or even fungal disease. They like reasonably warm weather. If you get temperatures above 85 degrees Fahrenheit, then make sure it spends some time in the shade. And they don't like temperatures below 45 degrees Fahrenheit, and it won't survive in the frost. They love light, they need full sunlight to grow, but too much sun can cause irreversible sunburn scars on the leaves, and it may get stressed out and change colors. And make sure you clean out any old leaves or anything that might get into the plant here, or they may begin to rot and affect the good leaves. And the old leaves are just a haven for all types of pests and insects and even mealybugs. And try not to let water collect on the leaves here like we have from our sprinkler system, because that may promote rot as well. So for watering, like our other succulents, our dusty rose here is drought tolerant. It needs watering only about every 2 weeks. Too much watering can cause root rot or fungal disease. And make sure the soil, it totally dries up before you rewater. And place water directly on the soil, not on the leaves, and not inside the leaves like we have here. And you shouldn't have to fertilize this dusty rose. But if it looks like it needs some nutrients, then just give it a little water-soluble fertilizer, but not too much, or you could have some bad results. But overall, these guys really don't like to be overfed. And you can propagate this plant by seeds, leaves, or cuttings, or even offsets that might grow off the, we'll call this the hen, and you might get some chicks coming out. But for cuttings and offsets, you plunk these directly in the soil, and they don't need repotting. But for leaves, if you remove them, then you let them callus for about 2 to 3 days, and you simply lay them directly on top of the soil. And once you see the little roots come out, you can leave them alone, or you can sort of prop them up with the roots just touching the soil, and this plant ought to just repropagate by itself rather nicely. All right? So this is our Echeveria Dusty Rose. Ours is a bit purplish, and indoors or in the shade, it'll probably be a lot more pink. All right? So I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Bye.